I'm Marnie Nesher, publisher of the Central New York Business Journal, and would like to welcome everyone to our latest CNY Business Journal interview series. Due to the social distancing guidelines, we'll be conducting our interview remotely today. Please stay up to date by viewing our website daily at CNYBJ.com for the news and the impact that the coronavirus is having on every business in Central New York. Subscribe to the Central New York Business Journal if you are not currently a subscriber by subscribing online at CNYBJ.com. Now I'd like to introduce Chris Panebianco, Chief Marketing Officer of Bankers Healthcare Group, otherwise known as BHG, right here in our community, and they are located in Syracuse. Chris, thanks for joining me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Marnie. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's dive right in. For those who may be unfamiliar with Bankers Healthcare Group, would you tell us who you are and how long you've been around for?
Sure. BHG was founded by Eric Castro, Bob Castro, and Albert Crawford in 2001. We provide financial solutions predominantly for the last 17 years to healthcare professionals, but over the last 3 to 4 years, we've really jumped into other highly skilled professions such as CPAs, engineers, architects, and attorneys. So we're a direct lender. We work on speed and a hassle-free service, and we've provided about $6 billion in financial solutions over the last 19 years to the community, to professionals. We offer commercial loans, consumer loans, credit cards, and we are one of 14 non-bank SBA lenders. So we have a license. We've been heavily involved in the PPP program, as much of our nation has in the small business community. So we've been very lucky. We are 49% owned by Pinnacle Bank out of Nashville, Tennessee. They've been an amazing partner and really helped our company mature. I still think we're at a good stage where we're hitting adulthood as a company, and we've been very fortunate. Syracuse is our home. We're also in Fort Lauderdale, where 2 of the 3 original founders live, and we have an office in New York City.
All right, and you guys have had a really impressive run, being named one of the CNY Best Places to Work, in an annual event that we hold. And we're kind of curious as to what your secret of success is with that. Do you have your high employee satisfaction certainly can translate into a competitive advantage for your firm, I assume?
Yeah, it's something that, I knew BHG for 2 years before I ever joined the company. They were a client of mine, and I had direct communication with Al, Bob, and Eric. And, they were the culture that they had built, even back in 2006, 2007. Was something that just, it spoke to me. And as I progressed through my other job and Al made me an offer I couldn't refuse, it was something immediately when you walk through the doors, whether you're a vendor, you're a client, or someone who works at BHG, it's all about our people. It's all about our culture. From the top down, Al is one of the most accessible people. You never know that he was the CEO of the company because he's in the trenches with us. He's very approachable. And it's something that they've been very matter of fact about, that we want people who aren't afraid to work. We work long, we work, crazy hours. But number one behind culture would be our customers, the care that we have for our customers and our ability to change directions. Obviously, with what COVID has thrown at us, if we weren't such a flexible company and adaptable, I think we would have really struggled. But that starts from the top down. It's the mentality we have. We're not a Bank of America or one of your larger lending institutions. So we've had to be scrappy in nature and really be fine-tuned on our business model and our relationships and how we treat our customers. But it really does roll back to culture being the main culprit of our success.
Okay. So how has COVID impacted BHG?
Well, immediately, I don't think we were as prepared as we should have been in January when we started hearing more and more. And again, we have a leadership group that is very close to Al and Eric, the 2 remaining founders. And they put a mandate out that, hey guys, we got to really make sure we're prepared. And over the next 25, 30 days, we worked hard. When they made the call in mid-March to go remote, we had over 600 employees remote in less than 48 hours. And as a lender, you can imagine that's not always easy to do. But our technology is state of the art, and our management styles, our leadership, our communication with our employees has really it's been put to the test, but we're still doing all right. Our communication is good, employee satisfaction has stayed high, and more importantly, we haven't missed a beat with our lending. We are actively lending to the healthcare community and the professional network, and we're doing it all remote. So that's been something we were worried about, but again, our Al and Eric saw it coming a mile away and really pushed us to be ready. So it's been a great team effort.
Well, actually, that's one of my questions for you is I know you're predominantly in the healthcare field in terms of providing loans. How are you helping your customers during this period of time of need? Are some of them having difficulty in repayments, or there's more of a need more than ever to get more money into their hands, or what's happening with your clients?
It's been a little bit of everything. We've had any of our current clients that have called in and needed assistance with their repayment. We're working with every single one of them. It's not even a question. Those customers have been great paying customers, and this is something unprecedented that hopefully we'll never see again. But they're going to be our customer today and tomorrow, and when everybody gets back to work. We are a little bit unique that our customer base is mainly in the healthcare space. So a lot of these professionals, they're working. They're not missing paychecks, but you do see dentists and optometrists where they've been shut down. So again, we're going out to them proactively. We're utilizing Fundex Solutions Group, which is our SBA company. We, in a matter of 5 days, created an entire portal for any of our requests to be tied in with the government to request the PPP loan, the Paycheck Protection Program. And to date, when they turned on the second round of funding, we did over 1,000 loans to small businesses through the PPP. And that was just in 1 day. We've been going today. We're going to keep going until that's exhausted. On the core business side for BHG with our healthcare and CPAs and engineers and attorneys, we're offering the BHG assistance loan, which is about a 60-day deferred payment. So anyone who comes in, they could have up to 89 days before they would ever make their first payment. BHG is committed to helping them and giving them that time. And at the same time, we're also fast. That's really our biggest differentiator in the market is speed and hassle-free nature. So that 89 days, we're able to get you money in 3 to 5 business days, minimal paperwork, and then you're able to take that 3 months. So hopefully when the restrictions lift, or if you're already back to work or you never left work, you have a little bit of breathing room to make sure that your employees are taken care of. A lot of our healthcare professionals have had to change their practices. They have to add in different safety measures, and that costs money. So we're out there actively marketing and letting them know that we are here and we are lending. And anything we can do, we're listening. We're actively communicating with all of our customers on a daily basis.
All right, very interesting. So you've really experienced some very fast growth in recent years. What are the main factors in the market that drove that growth?
I think it really goes back to what Al, Eric, and Bob found in 2001. Al came from the finance side, the banking side. Eric and Bob came from originations in the medical space, medical equipment leasing. And both of them both sides bringing their experience, came to find that healthcare professionals are busy. They do very well for themselves, and they don't have time to go through a tedious process of borrowing money or getting access to capital. So what they did, it's the same business model that we have today, is they made that process easier. One thing that's very different about us is that speed factor, where a healthcare professional, most of the time we're a busy professional, they don't have time during the day to go down to a bank, and they don't really want to go online. FinTech wasn't around back then. And they're more than just a score when you fill out an online application. So we really found the best of both worlds, the great parts of the traditional lender and the great parts of speed and hassle-free of the FinTech, and combine that. We go out and we get all of the information they need so that doctor has to sign a couple of forms, and then we come back with a full loan form ready for them. And they don't have to do any heavy lifting. At the same time, with that speed and efficiency, our customer service has really been the big factor there that holds their hand through the process and really gives them the attention they deserve. That whole recipe has done well over the years as things have changed. We've gone through 2008 to 2011, the big economic downturn. Our company was actually founded 3 weeks after 9/11. So we've been through this before. And each time we've encountered anything, we've kept our business model the same. We've been very active marketing. And we're just letting people know that if you need a true financial partner, we're here and we'll do it fast without you ever having to leave your office.
So change is coming, though. I mean, the healthcare industry is definitely going to have a change as a result of this pandemic. What changes do you see on the horizon, and what challenges or opportunities is this going to present to you, to BHG?
That's a great question. We talk about it every day. We're in leadership meetings in the morning and afternoon, and that's the biggest topic. We're monitoring our portfolio. We're watching, is there something happening in New York State? We're across the country. We're looking at the macro influences. Healthcare dentists, look at what's happened to them. Most states locked them out. They haven't been working for 60 days. Things are changing. Their practice is changing. But one thing's for sure is that the healthcare space, our CPAs, our engineers, there is definitely a need for those industries. And as things change, if they need new equipment or new regulations or policies, they're going to have a need for financing. So we're going to be there. We definitely think that there will be changes that, it's inevitable as new policy and how we adapt back to society. The social distancing is gone. Can people go to the dentist? Are the elective procedures still going to be as in high demand as they were before COVID-19? So those are all things that could change our business, but we feel very confident that healthcare is a very, very strong space. There's tremendous growth. If you look at, advanced nursing specialties, physician, there's need. The advanced nursing specialties, your CRNA and groups like that, your nurse practitioners are growing faster than any other group, 25 to 35%. So we see that growth and that need as our population ages. Our customers will be there. It's a matter of what they will need money for and how we can continue to innovate our process to make sure we're there with the right product for them at the right time.
So let's talk about your marketing strategy a little bit. What was your strategy before the pandemic, and how has your strategy shifted after?
That's a great question, and it's kept me up at night. It's a balance where if you turn on the TV or if you look at some of the advertising going on right now, there's a lot of the empathetic, we're here with you, we're here for you, we're in this together. And I think that goes without saying. But what we've actually done, much like 2008 to 2011, we're not pulling back. We're going out more to let people know we are here to lend, that we're not going to stop lending. That is a big difference that I noticed when I came on board over 11 years ago, is that everybody around you, the credit policies tighten, their access to capital with a lot of the lenders, they tighten their reins and they're not as active. They're afraid of risk. But BHG firmly believes that, our borrowers, they will pay us back, and we're willing to be out there and market even more. My budget has increased over the last 45 days, and we're looking at some very large national campaigns that we're going to do. I think it's something that keeps me on my toes. It keeps my team thinking of new innovative ways, especially on the digital platform. We're able to really test and measure, but we do a lot of direct mail too. That's just one thing that we haven't stopped. Marketing in Al's eyes is something that we're not willing to pull back on. That could be a big mistake for any business that doesn't need to pull back. I've seen it happen. I was in the mortgage industry in 2006 to 2008. And, as soon as the crisis happened there, I was one of the first people let go. So I've been through that. And, that company, they don't exist anymore. They pulled back and their business just dropped. So that was one of the things I loved about Al and Eric's vision for BHG in their future, is that we're going to go right into the storm and we're going to tell people that we're there for them, so that when things do get, they get better and they improve, they'll remember who was there, and BHG's brand will grow.
So what would be one piece of advice that you could share with businesses in general in regards to a new marketing focus for them as we come out of the pandemic?
I can't speak for certain types of business and industry because I'm just not there. I feel awful for what business owners are going through right now. What we've looked at is really the main thing is authenticity. you have to be authentic, and your product, your service has to be what you're saying, and you really have to have a care for your customer. So as long as you're authentic, we've had some great conversations with other local marketing leaders in Syracuse, Jeff Knaus and Paul Daly and Matt Reed, about that very issue. And as long as you're staying authentic and you're being open to the needs of your customer, I think that's the main thing. So it's about content that helps. It's about your service that helps. Anything you're doing to help your customer get through this time and then help them flourish on the backside of this pandemic, I think that'll hold true, not just now, but in the future as well.
So my final question for today is, I always like to ask the leaders in the community, what do you see on the horizon for Central New York coming out of this? What are we going to look like in a year from now? What's the business community going to be like?
I honestly don't know. My hope is that I think we have an amazing healthcare system. I think we have outstanding leadership with Mayor Walsh and Ryan McMahon. I grew up in Chittenango, 15 miles east of here, and I was gone for a very long time. And when I grew up in the late 70s and 80s, I loved being here. I moved away and we've lost business, and we were on that downturn. But as I've said, being a part of Leadership Greater Syracuse and really getting into the business community in Syracuse, it's amazing what's happening. Before COVID-19, you could see that shining light with the business coming in, the industry, BHG, the other group, JMA, that we're attracting industry, we're attracting families. This is an amazing place to live. So my hope, and I hope I'm right, my prediction is that when we come out of this, we've got the right infrastructure with leadership, with youth, with talented workforce and industry to grow. I really believe that Central New York was right there before this hit. And I think we're going to be there right after. It's that Syracuse way. It's like a chip on our shoulder that we're just not going to fail. And I'm happy to be a part of it. I know that BHG, we have our roots here. We have over 250 employees in this location, and we've actually grown. We started March 1st with 617 employees, and we have 627 today. I've onboarded a few people, which is challenging remotely, but hopefully every other business can find that light, and we can all work together, and we'll see what the vision is for Syracuse, and we'll see it through.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for spending time with me. And everyone, please stay healthy during this challenging time. Every one of us has been impacted, but we will persevere as a community. We are resilient. Thank you.